What was that? Today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw semi-realistic eyes. The method that I'm going to be teaching you can be used to draw a variety of eyes, and it's super simple and super easy, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is open up Ibis, get pen fade, and set it to any color other than black, and then you're going to draw a mountain. Depending on how steep your mountain's going to be, it's going to be how wide open your eyes are going to be. Once you're done with that, I like to add in a square to be a placeholder for where the iris is going to be. The iris doesn't always end up in where I draw it here, but it's just a placeholder right now. Once you're done with that, you're going to lower the opacity of this layer, and you're going to add a layer on top of that, and we're going to start actually drawing the eye. So we're going to draw the upper half of the eye, just basically follow the way of the mountain, and then we're going to add a little wing to it though for eyelashes. Depending on your character's personality or what your own personal preference is, you can make this part more angular or more rounded, up to you, man. Once you're done with that, you're going to move on to the lower half of the eye. Try to use a thinner version of pen fade, and you're going to connect both corners of the eyes, and you're going to draw in the tear duct and that fleshy corner of the eye because semi-realism. Once you're done with that, you're going to add a line below the lower part of the eye. You are going to start adding your lashes. When adding lashes, do not just draw sticks flying around everywhere, okay? Draw like two curved lines that meet at a point so things look more three-dimensional and fancy. And don't add too many lashes because, as they say, less is more. Also, you don't want this to end up looking like a freaking centipede, okay? Like, oh my gosh. So once you're done with that, you're going to add the double eyelid. You don't have to add a double eyelid if you don't want to. Like, for me personally, in real life, I have monolids, but I like drawing double eyelid. Once I'm done with that though, I'm going to add a layer above that, and I'm going to draw in the eyebrows. Now, when drawing in eyebrows, do not just draw a line, okay? This ain't no anime. This is semi-realism, so draw the outline of the shape of an eyebrow. Now, depending on your preference, you can make the eyebrows more angular or less angular. It's all up to you. After that, we're going to add another layer, and we're going to add in the iris. That's basically it. I like putting all these layers into a folder just to stay organized. But once we're finished with this whole sketch part, we basically just start going in painting. So we're going to add another layer, put that underneath everything, and we're going to just color it in with pen fade with a base skin color. Once you're done with that, you're going to go in with like a pinkish reddish color set to airbrush, and you're going to color in the blush part, and you're going to go back to pen fade, get a kind of darker, more reddish color of the base skin color, and you're going to draw in the agiosal. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's basically like the lower fat part of your eye that's supposed to make your eyes look bigger and more youthful or something like that. I don't know. And once you're done with that, you're going to go in for an even more redder and darker color, and you're going to color more of the corner of the eye now. And then you're going to go back to selecting your base color and going to color into some of that agiosal shading, because if you don't, it's just going to make it look like your dude got an eye bag, man. But once we're done with that, we're going to add some more shading like beneath the brow and to the eyelid, just to make things seem a little more three-dimensional and fancy schmancy. And once we're done with that, we're going to add a layer on top of this, and we're going to start coloring the sclera. Don't make your scleras pure white, because in real life, the white part of your eye is not pure white. Once you're done with that, you're going to go in with like a darker version of that color, and you're going to add a shading part towards like the top side of the sclera. And once you're done with that, you want to go to your eye shape layer, and you're going to add a layer on top of that, clip it to the eye shape, and you're going to take a pretty dark red, and you're going to color the corners of the eyes just so that it helps to blend in more with the skin around it. And you're going to merge that down onto the eye shape layer, and you're going to merge that onto the sclera coloring layer, and you're going to start coloring in them tear ducts and fleshy parts of the eyes. For the tear duct and like that fleshy corner of the eye, I usually like to use like a pretty dark red. Sometimes I'll go in with like a little bit of a highlight on the tear duct, light highlight on the tear duct, just to make things seem a little more interesting. So once we're done with that, we're going to add a layer on top of that, and we're going to start working on the iris. Now for the iris, I'll take pen fade, I'll color in the iris, delete the black outline layer, and we're going to slightly blur the colored layer just to make things seem a little softer. And we're going to be using a darker version of the iris color, and we're going to add in a pupil and a shading on the top following the shading to the sclera. I sometimes will add like these little scribbles to the bottom of the eye just to make it seem a little more detailed, and I'll sometimes go in with like different more brighter colors to add in for like the bottom of the eyes to make things pop a little more. I usually go in with like a cyan or magenta when I'm doing this part, but you can go in with like any two good colors. And then I usually add in a highlight with pure white. So now let's move on to the eyebrow. Now when drawing the eyebrows, add a layer beneath the eyebrow shape layer, and we're going to just start drawing in lines. Draw them in one direction, and then when you hit like around the corner of the eyebrow, you're going to start drawing in the other direction. Why do eyebrows do this? I have no idea. Do eyebrows really do this? I have no idea, but it looks not bad, so we're just gonna stick with it. Once I'm done with that, I usually like to make my soft pastel ginormous and start filling in the eyebrow and like just going over the eyebrow with that just to make the eyebrow seem a little more full. Then I'll lower the opacity of the eyebrow shape layer, and I'm merge that down to the eyebrow color layer, and we're just going to use soft pastel again set to the color of the base skin color, and you're just gonna start fading the corners out a little bit. That's just basically it. There you go. You got an eye. Look at you. You made that. Beautiful. Amazing. Good job. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.